Hello, my name is Lucas Caceres, and I am a wealth advisor with Keystone Financial Services. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of adding a connection for your eMoney account. To do this, you are going to need login credentials for all of your financial institutions at which you have user IDs and passwords set up. And I will go through the process of showing you how to get those linked if that's something you're not comfortable with or familiar with from previous interactions with us. So if you were able to follow along with the mouse that I am using, this is just a test client that we're able to use to run through the situations. The very first thing you'll want to do is click on the add function, which is on the left side here, and it has that green plus sign. So go ahead and click on that. And then the next page that's going to pop up is it's going to ask you to plug in the financial institution that you would like to use. So for this test scenario, I am going to be using First Tech Federal Credit Union because I know that is a common institution that most of our clients still use. So you type in the institution that you want to look up, and also in this situation, First Tech has two separate logins. I know the one that we're going to be testing today is associated with their new site, so we will go ahead and plug that guy in. And the information I'm plugging in here is just generic info, so when you get to this stage, you are going to want to use your own login credentials. And before you start plugging those in, just look up at the top of the screen here where it says First Tech Federal Credit Union, then it shows the bank URL. So that's important to make sure that you're going to be using the right credentials that you're plugging in. If you have them all lined up and prepared for this video to help yourself run through this situation quickly, it's really easy to accidentally jump down and add a Fidelity or some other type of login. So just make sure you're typing in the one that you'd prefer to use. After you type in your user ID and the password, you're going to click connect. And so that's going to take some time to load up. One of the reasons why I'm using First Tech as an example is because they do have one of the more robust security settings and features available, which require that you do an additional layer of security, which requires an authentication code. And what these mean here, so enter one, that's for text message, then you just verify that that's the correct phone number you have on file. I would enter the number 2 for the email on file, or enter 3 for my phone number that's on call. And so that would be a physical call that a robot would basically make from that institution to provide the code. And so by entering either one of those numbers that you would prefer, it will send off a corresponding code. And at this point in the testing stage, I'm not going to be able to move further, but basically what would happen is you would receive the code, plug that in, click the connect button, and once you do that, it will allow you to go ahead and continue importing all of your account information. And what that would look like then is where it says First Tech, instead of it giving us an error here, it actually show all of the accounts that you have associated with that institution. And for the final steps of this video today, I'm just going to show you some of the other more common institutions that our clients tend to use, and also if they apply towards you, those are going to be the institutions that you would want to obtain the credentials for prior to watching this video, so you're ready to go right away. The first one I'm going to type in is LPL's account view. And so when you do that search, there's going to be lots of information that pops up. The one you're going to want to choose is the one that I'm highlighting right now with the underline, and it's the number 1, so it's the LPL account view. Once you do that, you would just plug in your credentials, go through that process of connecting the accounts. Another institution that is common for many of our clients is if you work for HP, Avago, Intel, all of those companies use Fidelity's net benefits. So if you do a search for net benefits, you'll see Fidelity net benefits pop up. So that's the only one for that. Alternatively, if you did a search for Fidelity, you're going to see that there's a whole list of options to choose from. And one of the things that it does is you'll see on this left side that's kind of highlighted in blue, it does the 20 most popular, and you can see that the number one is that net benefit. So if it ever moves in popularity, just make sure you find that correct one, which would be the Fidelity net benefits, to go ahead and plug in your information. One last one I'll just give you as an example is TD Ameritrade. So a few of our clients have accounts at TD Ameritrade as well, and so if you do, you should have login access for that. And when you do a search for TD Ameritrade, it's going to be this number 2 one that shows up, the TD Ameritrade Institutional Investor Login. That would be the guy you'd want to click on. You would enter in the user ID and password for TD Ameritrade, specifically for this one. And I know TD Ameritrade has additional security settings where it's going to ask you to type in the 4 security question answers. So just be ready for those security questions that you may have assigned to any of those financial institutions that you have set up. This is definitely a tool that we hope that you're able to utilize, but if you do run into any errors or situations where you need to pull us on the phone, we're always happy to do a walkthrough with you, whether it makes sense for you to stop by in the office or for us to jump on the phone and do a screen sharing solution for you. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope it was helpful, and if not, definitely reach out to us, and we'll always look to try to increase the impact of these videos moving forward.